hiring is destroyed not by AI but by humans. Probably the fact that AI isn't the problem, the humans that built it is. People who aren't even qualified for jobs are just applying to 100 jobs a day just to play the numbers to get interviews.
It's flooding the system.
You have 50% turnover. It means you don't know what you're looking for because you're selecting the wrong people. If AI is going to fix one thing, I want it to fix the ghosting thing. AI is going to allow humans to be more human, more effective, and now you're going to give the candidates a better experience because now they're like, hey, I got interviewed. If I'm not a fit, I get feedback as to why. I automatically get put into their system to get matched to other opportunities. If you have kids, you're a founder, you're building right now, don't put humanity in a situation where everybody's displaced and there's no work and nobody knows what to do with themselves.
Alinea Sales Group is a hiring as a system model using AI to remove noise and bias so leaders can focus on what truly matters, human connection and actual fit. The result isn't just better hiring, it's more human companies built to last. AI is needed to teach people how to be human again. Open up awareness of these topics that people are not even thinking about or some of the risks that are coming down the pike, right?
You could work with like 10 people that are geniuses and smart in whatever they do, or you can work with 10 AI agents. Who would you choose to work with?
All right, everybody. This is the 26th episode of season 1 of the AI Space podcast. It's the final episode of the season 1. We have Michael Kainatsky, the Morpheus of hiring at Alinea Sales Group. Michael, what are we going to cover on this episode?
Why you shouldn't trust the AI fad. Why trust is more important than the perception of a relationship. Why hiring is destroyed not by AI but by humans. Probably the fact that AI isn't the problem, the humans that built it is.
Awesome. Well, everybody, make sure to check out the episode. It's an awesome episode. Thanks so much. All right, everybody, welcome to the AI Space podcast. AI isn't just the future. It's a force rewriting the rules of business, wealth creation, and society. If you're a founder, innovator, or technologist, this is the AI show for you. The question you have to ask yourself is, will I blaze a path, follow the crowd, or be left in the dust? Wow, this is the 26th episode. We're at season 1. We're closing out season 1 and thrilled to have Michael Kainatsky, the Morpheus of hiring at Alinea Sales Group. Alinea Sales Group is a hiring as a system model using AI to remove noise and bias so leaders can focus on what truly matters, human connection and actual fit. The result isn't just better hiring, it's more human companies built to last. AI is needed to teach people how to be human again. Michael Kainatsky is a seasoned sales leader and entrepreneur who believes hiring is broken, but AI is finally helping us fix it. He spent 20 years leading sales, recruiting, and turnaround work inside high growth and PE-backed companies, learning how to align people, process, and performance. I'm Sanjay, Kalluvilayil, founder and CEO of Stonehaas Advisors, your trusted advisor for AI founders and businesses focused on go-to-market strategy and execution. Michael, first of all, welcome. On the AI Space podcast, we jump right in to highlight game-changing insights that help founders drive innovation and scale business initiatives. Once again, welcome. But what do you see as the hottest or critical trends in AI?
Right now, probably the idea of people talking about, I guess the hottest trends is really the topics I think right now is, do we replace humans with AI? Was AI built to replace humans? And will we actually get good outcomes with AI if we replace humans? I think those are the things people are talking about right now that are hot topics, I'm sure, for everyone.
Yeah, and so how do you see that closing out for your assessment for 2025 and going to 2026 on that?
I think it's going to go very badly if people believe that AI is going to actually replace humans. I believe that, I'm not on the world of AI will replace humans. I do know that the idea of why AI was originally created was for efficiency. There's no question about it. I know people are like, how can we save money? How can we save cost? What ended up happening, and what I see at least now is, and this is why I talk about hiring, because nothing, if you think about AI, the correlation of AI has nothing to do with what the AI can do, how interesting it is, what new nifty thing that it can accomplish. I believe that AI and hiring are hand in hand. You're either really bad at hiring, so you look at the people you have and go, I can replace these, whatever they're doing with AI. It's not because AI is really good, it's because your people are really bad. And I think that the reason why you've seen this massive inflow of companies talking about it is because AI has been characterized not as a efficiency tool for people. Now it's becoming this thing for founders like, hey, you can build a billion-dollar company with no people. And that is a very scary prospect for me because what is the definition of a company? A company is a group of people, insights, experiences, expertises, and culture that working together to achieve a goal, not only financially, but actually benefit humans, help the people in the organization to accomplish something with their career, and provide value for a group of people in the world. If you remove humans from that execution and all you have now is one founder with 20 AI agents doing things, doesn't that by definition remove the word company? You can't say I'm building an AI unicorn or AI startup if there are no people involved.
I think those were, good insights, and we definitely need to get into that. And the other aspect too is, I mean, you know this too, and a lot of times people want to say that, and I know you're not saying this, the people are bad. Is that, and you have a sports, you have a LA hat on, right? So whether it's a company or a sports team, right, you can have a superstar, but if the culture, the leadership, the incentives, the way everything's done is not healthy, you can turn your superstar into a non-performer, right? Or a team of superstars a non-performer. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I bring up another LA team with a superstar called Los Angeles Lakers,
Yeah.
right? What, are the Lakers a superstar team? Yeah, absolutely. They have amazing players. They've had them. The guy who claims he's the greatest player of all time, which he's not, but he does. How come he can't do whatever it takes to win? Well, probably because that the culture, the building of a team, building of a system, all that comes together. Teams are different, right? We're never going to replace teams with AI robots playing sports. Because we don't watch sports just to watch athletes, super performance. We watch sports for the story, the human touching story. We want to see people win and truly love it. How, like, what do they do? A company that does not value human beings anymore. In general, I'm just wondering, why did we get to a point where we want to avoid human beings? Like, why are people in a situation where they don't want to talk to humans? They want to send automated sequencing, which I don't have a problem with, but they don't even target anyone. They just go, let's just send this to anyone. I could care less who gets it. Ghosting has become a thing. All of these things have, like, how we mistreat each other. If you think about it, the dawn of AI, automation, efficiency, and all these crazy things that have happened, and how humans have been mistreating each other, hasn't that actually grown in parallel?
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. Let's dive deeper into that. What do you see the top AI strategies to grow and scale a business?
Well, one, I believe that AI strategy is useless without an expert driving it.
I agree.
Okay, so like to me, let's use a stupid example because I like to be a simplifier of things. I'm not an AI. I don't know crap about AI. I have a very good friend Andrew Malinell. The guy's a PhD from Columbia in generative AI. That guy you should have on your podcast. He's a genius. I know nothing. I simplify everything. If I take a 15-year-old, which is let's say an average employee, and I say, hey, AI is going to make you so goddamn good. Well, let's say that we'll put it to a normal terms. You're a 15-year-old driver. You're learning how to drive. You have your permit, maybe, depending on the state. I say, dude, I got a Ferrari F1 race car for you. And you give it to him. That's AI. It's super fast, super efficient. It does everything. It's 15, 20, I think it's $20 million to build an F1 race car with all the components. What happens if I give that kid that F1 race car?
Crashes, burns.
Why? It's an F1 race car. It's a $20 million race
And this
car.
is what no. If you apply to business, there's no domain expertise. There's no. They don't know how to drive. They don't have the
This
experience.
this is what we're dealing with. Right now, AI is this. A bunch of people that don't know jack shit. Don't take that out. Use jack shit. That's a
Yeah.
legal term. And you give them a bunch of AI, and what they believe is that AI is going to literally solve all their business problems. It won't. AI is stupid. AI does what you tell it to do. So if you're an idiot, it will act as an idiot efficiently on your behalf. And that's what I think is happening in AI.
Yeah, I mean, if you same thing. If you look at even the current before you even get AI, any of these big system solutions implementations, if you don't know the processes that need to be done, the steps that need to be done, the workflows in an efficient way, garbage in, garbage out, right? You're just going to have an
CRM. Let's go
yeah.
20 years back. Let's go back to
ERP,
20 years where I started.
CRM,
ERP,
everything.
CRM, any system, EOS, all of these systems that all these years people are like, we are going to solve your problems. What do they always need behind them?
Yeah, you need
E-
expertise.
Expert implementer who understand. Listen, you need to do this for this system. It will do this, but you need to create a system and a workflow that actually does what you want it to do. If
Hmm.
you don't know what goes here or what goes there, if you don't understand which is an output and which is an input, and why the inputs and where they go. When you look at a CRM, you're going to be like, I have no idea what any of this is. Why do you think people don't use CRM? Either the CRM sucks or they have no idea what a CRM is supposed to contain. That's why people don't use CRM. Salespeople love efficiency. But if you give them a CRM that is cumbersome, they don't know how to use it, it was implemented wrong. Who cares? The CRM is garbage in, garbage out, as you said. So I think that we're dealing with a fad right now driven by stock market gains, Nvidia, chip sales going crazy, innovation that's incredible. Have you ever asked AI to do something silly and it gives you some dumb response and you're like, how is this difficult for AI to do? Because AI is that smart. The geniuses aren't the people that the geniuses are the prompt experts that can get AI to do exactly what they want.
Right.
That means AI is not that smart until a genius can tell it what to do.
Yeah, and we'll dive deeper into that. So let's take a step back. First of all, like we can breathe now. Welcome, Michael. Could you tell us a little bit more about your background, what you led you into this foray into AI, and your path to Alinea Sales Group? Right. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I listen. I can't say that I had a foray into AI. I actually I'm trying to intercept AI with an understanding of where AI belongs and where it doesn't. And hiring is something I fell into. I had 20 years of my background. If you think about my entire course from entry level after college to here, 12 years of corporate sales, very fast ascent, entry level, literally to a C-suite position of private equity, and then out of corporate America in 12 years. So by the time I was 35, I was literally done working for someone else. I really never stopped working for someone else because your clients are still bosses. What ended up happening was I fell into recruiting by accident. But when I got into it, what I saw was a massive problem. This was back in 2017. No one was talking about AI. What I saw was a problem. Hiring was broken. And what I realized is the hiring is broken because if people don't know how to hire and if people don't know how to recruit, that amplifies everything. First, you hire people, but you don't know how to hire, so you have the wrong people. Then you move forward and you have the wrong people doing the wrong things, and it just amplifies mistakes because it's like a bad copy of a bad copy of a bad copy. So I got into hiring it, and recently, actually, let's say a year and a half ago, I connected with this group of guys building an AI solution for hiring, and I was at first like, guys, this is another AI fad, but what they were approaching it was really, really smart because when you look at how hiring works today, everybody posts a job, you get 150 applicants. The hiring managers don't have time to go through what's happening. So they either do one of two things. They look at whoever they look at the closest keyword matching, pull 10, 15 people out and ignore everyone else because they don't care. So that means there's a lot of people left on the sidelines that are just being ignored, which amplifies candidates pressing apply 1,000 times a day, trying to get somebody to
Or
reply to
using
them.
or using ChatGPT to fill out their resume and get optimized for ATS, whatever.
Or
Right.
worse, there's companies now that have AI bots that allow you to put your resume in. You select the keywords you want to go apply to. It applies to 100 jobs a day and changes your resume in real time for the job description. So that eliminates effectiveness of resumes. Job descriptions are useless. So what companies started to doing is using AI to screen the proper resumes. Well, if those resumes are perfectly adjusted to perfectly sync with your ATS screening process, you're only getting people that are cheating, not who are a good fit. So these guys, and they literally just went live with a tool. These guys are coming up with this idea of let's make AI more human than humans because AI can interview everyone. It can determine outside of the resume, is this person a good fit for the company? Does this person actually have the skills? Is this person going to be the right fit for the role as described and as interviewed with someone? Because they're interviewing people, not just using job descriptions. And once they interview someone, what do you want outcomes in this job? Take the job description, combine them, provide the perfect job description that talks about outcomes too, then gets people to interview through AI and see where the alignment is. And if they're not aligned there, it'll automatically search and see where their actual profile aligns with any of the other roles they have posted. So it allows AI to superimpose effectiveness because a human being is not qualified in their minds and usually in their career to go, oh, this person I just interviewed is not a good fit for this role. Instead of going, yep, not a good fit, they'll be like, let me think where they do belong because they're really great. They're just not good in X. They're good in Y. People don't do this. They don't care. They're just box checkers, right?
Only the good HR. leaders are able to.
Recruiters, not HR. HR does not belong in hiring. That's another problem. HR is doing hiring. They have no skills in hiring. Recruiting is not hiring, right? Recruiting is
So actually,
sourcing
for the
selection.
people out there, can you delineate? I mean, I understand what you're saying, but maybe someone doesn't understand. Well, I thought HR is recruiting, and recruiting is the HR. So maybe explain to the folks, right?
Yeah, it's a big problem.
Mm,
The reason why HR handles hiring is because they're called human resources. And so leaders and founders believe that human resources should handle the entire candidate life cycle from sourcing to hiring to onboarding to managing and then exiting the company. No, it's not. HR's function is a legal entity. They are there to protect the company from the humans in the company. They're not the people that should be bringing them in. It's actually a conflict of interest because if you're brought them in and then the person after you've hired them comes into you and goes, "Hey man, this really sucks here. I have these problems," and their HR now goes, "Whoa, I brought them in, but wait a minute, this sounds like a legal problem." So now their spidey senses are saying, well, I got to protect the company. Well, how can you protect the company if you promise this person this type of an experience, and now your job is to not help them, but actually protect the company? So human resources should have nothing to do with it. And if you look at hiring and sales, think about sales. In tech companies, are the account manager and customer success people the ones that cold call and prospect and bring them in?
of course not.
Why not?
They don't have the skill sets.
Bingo. Everyone knows this in go to market and sales enablement, don't they? It's not
But
even a question.
well, the funny thing is, I'll tie into that. When I started my consulting business, right, I was doing a go-to-market strategy and execution. Oh, consulting will be easy to get going, right? I'll just leverage my network. Then you start a business. Any entrepreneur, all this. Okay, where are the leads? Where's the lead flow? And it's like it's a different skill set than even sales. It's lead gen is different than sales, and it's not just regular marketing. And people don't understand that. It's like it's a very differentiated skill set. And the account manager is
Right.
the one that is like, okay, once it's brought into the fold, then they're managing the relationship, right?
Bingo.
The lead gen is
HR is that.
yeah, they're hunting
HR is that.
they're hunting for leads, and the recruiter's hunting for candidates, right? So it's like a hunters versus farmers in a sense.
It's 100%. The problem is recruiters don't know how to hire. Because if you look at recruiters, and this is the problem I've always had, I look at recruiters for who they are. They're freaking sourcers. Sourcing to me is the lowest skill level available in the hiring ecosystem. AI can replace this today. Boolean, boom, go and get me all the people that have these keyword matches, go send out 100 messages to them, 15, 20, 30 people reply, I'll go through and I'll determine who that is. Recruiting, that sourcing part, which most people right now think is recruiting, that part is easy. AI is going to replace that, and I think that the disruption for recruiting is going to happen there. Right off the bat, that goes out the window. So every single expensive agency out there that has no subject matter expertise and is like, oh yeah, you need an accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, a CPA, and a proctologist. I got you, right? Which is most recruiters. No SMEs, they'll replace that because sourcing is a joke. Next thing, what's the most important part of recruiting? It's you got the people in. Now it's do you know who the right people to move forward are? The selection process. So the good recruiters are the one. When I did recruiting agency, I would go to my clients and say, "Do you know who you want?" They'd be like, "Michael, I have no idea. What do you think I should go for sales?" I was like, let's do an agreement. I'm going to give you the people to interview, and I'm going to tell you who you should hire and who you maybe should hire, but uncertain, but who you'll definitely hire. If you listen to me blindly, I'll blindly do what I tell you. I'll give you longer guarantee than you've ever seen in your life. If you don't listen to me and you're going to do it your way, your process, then I can't give you a long guarantee because I don't trust your decision. Because it's like a doctor. If you go to a doctor and you go to them, hey, listen, doctor, I have a little pain here. Here's what's going on. Here's what's wrong. You're going to do this x ray. You're going to do this medication and you're going to apply it this way. And the doctor will be like, I'm sorry, I don't treat that way. You have no idea what you're talking about. I'm going to tell you my diagnostics. I'm going to tell you what's wrong. And I'm going to tell you the prescribed intermediation that we have to do and then remedy. Doctors don't let you tell them what's wrong. They ask you, where does it hurt? And they determine what's wrong. In recruiting and hiring, companies come in and go, we're looking for a guy like this, like this, like this, like this. We're looking for a girl like this, like this, like this, like this. You need to go find us that. And if you're like, wait a minute, if you know exactly what you're looking for and you think you know how to hire, how come you have a 50% turnover rate? Oh, well, this and that, blah, blah. Okay, so you're not great at selecting people if you have 50% turnover. It means you don't know what you're looking for because you're selecting the wrong people. Am I right or wrong? Well, technically, you're right. Got it. So let's remove the idea that you're going to tell me what you want. You're actually, and this is where recruiting breaks down. People give you a job description and they describe the person they want. Someone like this, team player, organized, great, responsive, willing to be all the crap a job description has, right? The way that you should recruit.
It's kind of like all those silly social media posts. What are you looking for in a guy? Someone that's funny and has
Yeah,
a great, and he's a great conversationalist. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, great.
wants kids, family man. Okay, I'll be like, okay, here you go. So like, I have everything you want
Oh,
for
but you
your
forgot to say you really want somebody with a six pack and
right.
whatever.
It's all stupid stuff. But here's what actually matters in hiring, and this is where AI is going to help. People don't. Recruiters only want to get paid, so there is misaligned incentives. They don't want what's the best outcome for the client. They actually want the best outcome for them. I need to get paid for this person who's the best candidate that will get hired so I can get paid. They don't look at it and go, who's the best candidate that 1 year from now they're going to look back and go, this is the greatest person you selected. Very few recruiters act like this. Why? Because they're subject matter experts. They're really good and they care about the success of the client because the reputation matters. The rest of them, they just want to get paid. They'll submit the candidate to 6 clients. Whoever's the highest bidder, they'll send it to them and convince the candidate why they should take that job because they'll get more money. It's like the real estate effect. The biggest issue that exists is that most people don't have the skill. So what ends up happening is they're looking to job description and a personality profile. It's like, someone like this, someone like that. The way you really need to interview clients before you do a search for them is I'm going to bring you a human being. Who cares who it is? It doesn't matter. I'm going to give you a silhouette of a person. You don't even know anything about them. Tell me 1 year from now what they would have accomplished for you to say this is a perfect placement. The recruiter did their job, and I'm super happy with the outcome. What would they have accomplished? Tell me. And then they start going, wow, what do I actually need to happen? Not who do I what square peg do I want to put in my square
Yeah.
hole? Now they're like, well, I want them to sell $1 million worth of business. I want their client attrition rate to be below 2%. I want da 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 da. Got it. So this is the skill we're going to look for. Person that will accomplish this and a person that can actually talk about having done it before, or if they haven't, they'll explain really well as to why they're capable of doing it moving forward. So now we're looking for outcomes based rather than stupid traits characteristics based. Because anybody can fall into a trait characteristic in the first interview because they're trained to put their best foot forward. So you have to remove that.
And that's a very important insight because whether it's the companies or sports teams, right? If you change flip that mindset, changes from I want the superstar to come in versus I want the person that I can in a year I know they're going to develop and build into something else. That's great because we've been all there at companies where somebody says, "Oh, I want this guy from XYZ Fortune 500 company that or gal that comes in and they destroy the culture." They're the superstar on paper, right? And the culture's destroyed. People are leaving, and then they're bringing in their own people, and then you've just destroyed your company culture at that point and the performance, right? And the numbers are down.
I see that's what people don't think about. I've always said this. If you look at all the companies out there, especially like not blue chip companies, not like Facebook and Google, who just hire top of the food chain. Actually, I don't know if you heard about this, but Meta, their hiring strategy now is they go in for AI. I have a friend of ours that we know well who told me this. Instead of hiring people from companies for AI, they go to companies doing innovative things in AI, go to the founder and basically go, I don't want your company. I want to acquire you.
That's happened in the company folds or what have you. And
They don't
we
care
get
about
it
the
on the
company. They just want the
$100
founder.
million bounties. But actually, I brought it up a couple of months ago. It's kind of like this whole, Machiavellian and mercenary attitude, but it's kind of backfiring now in terms of if you see what's happening at Meta, that strategy.
Well, I know it's happening about it, but I'll tell you, it's not backfiring. It backfired when they went and hired a bunch of AI people. They just went in and threw blank checks and just said, get us all AI experts. But what they really want is AI innovators that are building companies. So recently, if you look at, there was a news article recently where they literally went to a founder and just said, I want to hire you for us. I'm going to give you $1.5 billion for you. That's that's literally a different mindset. Now it's like we're gonna build. We don't need 100 AI people because they're laying everybody off. He's like, let's get 15 founders building, and let's give them their unicorn exit. Your company's dead. I want you. Here's your contract. We're buying you and your mind. We don't care about your company. You built it. Congratulations. Do whatever. Give it away. We want you. And so it's a very different approach, but it comes down to the idea that you want to hire for an outcome. You have to know the outcome you're looking to strive for. AI is going to not help deliver that outcome. AI is going to be able to do what human beings can't, which is we have 100 applicants, we have 100 resumes, cannot read 100 resumes. By the way, 95 of those resumes are probably BS and lies, and AI adjusted to our job description. Let's remove the bias. Let's interview the people based on what we want as an outcome and talk to them and ask them questions and see how well they answer, analyze it, and then deliver the people that are most qualified. So you'll be able to interview those 100 people because the human being won't. And how much money would it cost you if you told your human beings to interview every single one of them? And is your human being that you have doing it even qualified at the level to be able to know which one of those people would be the top 10 people in the list? AI is going to allow humans to be more human, more effective. And now you're going to give the candidates a better experience because now they're like, hey, I got interviewed. If I'm not a fit, I get feedback as to why. I automatically get put into their system to get matched to other opportunities that nobody else would otherwise do. And the companies using this tool are going to use it as a marketing tool to say, look, we know our people are not qualified to get through everyone. So we brought in a tool that's going to give everyone a fair shot because we know resumes are lied on and cheated. So we're removing resumes from the equation. Everyone gets an interview, everyone gets feedback, and you can walk away with that feedback saying, oh, this is what I could have done better. Here's why I'm not a fit. And it's honest. Enough of this ghosting. I'm completely like, if AI is going to fix one thing, I want it to fix the ghosting thing. Where you apply to a job, I don't believe applying to a job is the way. I'll be honest with you. I tell people all the time, I don't want people to apply to jobs anymore because I know it's a dead end. Why? Because it goes in, you get 100 applicants, 200, people pick 20, the rest go to the wayside. So what does that create for the ecosystem? It creates the need for these bots to go, if you're getting ignored, it's a numbers game now. So now people who aren't even qualified for jobs are just applying to 100 jobs a day just to play the numbers to get interviews.
It's flooding the system.
Bingo. It floods the system. And that means qualified people aren't getting seen. And let's be honest, let's talk about the other side. Let's say you do this as a candidate. You do apply to 1,000 jobs. You do get 15 interviews. You do get an offer. What are the chances that the job that applied to you in the application, one is a company you really are qualified to work for, and let's assume you are. What are the chances that that's a company that if you were employed gainfully, happily, and they came to you and made you an offer, you would ever consider leaving your job to go work for? Zero is the chance. But when you need a job, the level of desperation and self-preservation kicks in, and what ends up happening is you'll take any job. But when you get 3 months in, you're going to go, this sucks. I don't even know why I'm here. You're here because you just needed money to pay you. So what happens? Disillusionment, a disengagement. Now they're going to start looking for next jobs. And that's why, to me, what AI is going to help with is the turnover and disengagement problem in US that right now currently is a $3 trillion a year problem for companies in the US.
Yeah, and the other aspect too is, I mean, part of the perverse incentives of the system is that there's a saying: it's easier to get a job when you have a job. The person without a job can't find a job, and then when they do get a job, they're like, "Okay, it wasn't my ideal job, but I got a job now. Now I can start applying for other things because I have a job, right?" And that's it just creates this bad cycle, right? So, in terms of the sales group, Alinea's vision, mission, target segment, use cases, can you elaborate a little bit more about that?
Well, Alinea used to be an agent, just a recruiting agency and sales coaching training. So, hey, you need salespeople, sales leaders, whatever it is. Let me give you the right people, and let me make sure that they're also integrated, coached, or trained. But I realized that I just the agency model is broken, and everyone is out there pretending, unfortunately, pretending to be effective. We have the best candidates. We have the best this. We have the best that. There's nothing that separates agencies except their ability to come in and go, I'll do it for 15% of the salary. I'll do it for 10% of the salary. So I realized that that's just not going to work. I don't want to be playing that game because that's not what moves the needle. What moves the needle is when you hire someone, is that person going to achieve the goal? And if that goal is, I want $1 million, I want $1 million in sales. I want something massive. you become less about how much you cost versus your ability to guarantee that outcome. That's what it is. Most people don't want to pay a lot for recruiting, not because they don't value recruiting. It's because everyone out there has promised and everyone out there has failed them. This is why companies come in and go, well, I'll just give it to 10 agencies and see who gives me the best candidate. That's a stupid model. It doesn't work. It destroys your reputation in the marketplace because it makes it look like you're desperate and nobody wants to work for you. So you have a bunch of mercenaries out there trying to find someone. They all cross paths because there's not unlimited candidates. You eventually end up bumping into the same people another agency spoke to. So my goal was to basically create a model where it's an embedded fractional head of talent scenario. So no, it's not going to be a fractional HR person that's going to go, sure, I'll post the jobs for you and go out there and wait for people to apply. So you don't have to have somebody doing it internally. That's not outcomes driven. That's cost savings driven. Right now, most of hiring and most of recruiting is driven by the wrong thing. How cheaply and quickly can we hire, not how efficiently and well can we hire and achieve outcomes. No one cares about outcomes. Now they say they do, but actions speak louder than words. We want to hire the best people. Do you? Yes. Will you do what it takes to get the best people? No, we will not. We want the cheapest and best people. Well, good, cheap, and fast, right? You
A
could only have two.
three-legged stool.
You could only have two of those. Cheap, good, fast. Most people want cheap and fast. What is cheap and fast not?
Good.
3 trillion in turnover and disengagement. And I don't need to argue this. The numbers don't lie. Human beings lie all the time. People tell bullshit stories all the time. Numbers will tell you the truth. $3 trillion, that's what I need to know. This is the problem that I'm passionate about solving, and AI is going to solve it by forcing two things. And I'm passionate about human resources and hiring and recruiting and embedded talent. AI is going to force people to become more human because they have to consider everyone because there's too many variables out there that if you ignore them, you're going to screw yourself. Or the other variable, remove humans that are incapable of approaching hiring humanly and have AI do it because AI is unbiased. And that's where I believe AI is going to win, is where you do not need bias to achieve a goal that helps everyone. A company that I'm a part of now that I'm advising, it's called Trusted Associates, and they have a vision of W5. And essentially, what W5 is how can we all win? Like I win, you win, we win, they win, we all win. Humanity wins. And the idea behind this is every single thing we do, you have to think, how will this negatively affect someone, even if I win? Which is the zero sum game mentality. Like, hey, I'm gonna apply to 1,000 jobs and I'll get a job. But how many people have I gotten out of the system because I clogged it for someone else who didn't get seen, who's not using AI to blast these? Who am I hurting? And if the answer is probably someone, you shouldn't do it. Recruiters, I'm gonna get paid for this. But this guy leaving this great company to work for this crappy company that I convinced him he should go to, but I know they're really bad culture and he'll want to leave in 6 months. Do I really care if he's out of the job in 4 months and he just lost an awesome opportunity where he's at and his kids aren't going to eat and his mortgage is not going to get paid? Or do I just want to get paid? If you're like, I don't care, I want to get paid, congratulations, you're not doing what's good for everybody. If you can align everyone to be more human and think of the other person so that everyone can win in a scenario, which by the way, it is 100% possible. Everyone can win in every scenario. Of course, unless you're in a basketball game where it's competition and
That's a
somebody
zero-sum
has to
game. Yeah, that's
lose.
a zero-sum game.
Yeah, but it has to be. But guess what? If I win this game, I get a championship. You don't starve, you don't die, you still get paid $100 million contract. You just didn't win. It's okay. People pay for one of us to lose. Boxing, baseball, car racing. That's okay because the game rules are we have to have somebody who loses. And I'm okay with it. I signed up. I'm okay with it. Are you okay with it? Yeah. Shake hands. Awesome. But in hiring, recruiting, in the human interactions, did you and I agree that one of us has to walk away losing in this scenario? No. We agree, like, hey, I'm going to do this podcast. I'm losing an hour of my time. You're like, no, you're not. We get a conversation. You get your name out there. I have my 26 podcast, which is great for me. We have some new vision. The people who listen, they get some new insights. Who loses by me sitting here right now and you sitting here right now? Who loses? Can you think of anyone who loses?
No, only one person
Yeah,
person who didn't tune into the episode to hear you out.
but it's their choice too. So if they choose not to tune in, they didn't lose because they won by choosing.
Well, the other
We
thing too
gave
is
them
the
a
thing I got
choice.
to fix, kind of like what you're doing, is like I got to improve my reach so that people. There's an awareness issue too because I'm still a new podcast, right? And I got to do a better, and
Hey,
I got to do a better job of increasing the awareness and all that other stuff too, right?
correct, correct. And that's where you have other factors, and that's why you have people saying, "Hey, talk about my podcast. Here, take a look at it. Please
Yeah.
listen." But here's the thing. It doesn't matter if 1,000 people watch it or 10. There's zero loss in this
Right.
ecosystem of your podcast and us doing it and people listening to it. Why? Because it's why would it be otherwise? But when you go into a recruiting relationship, the candidate assumes the recruiter wants to help them. The candidate assumes the company wants to hire somebody and actually will respect them. The company assumes the recruiter wants to help them get the right person. The candidate assumes that the company has a good relationship with the recruiter and trusts his opinion. The whole thing is assumed trust that no one loses. But what the candidate doesn't question is, hey, does this company actually, you're lying on behalf of them because you know they're crap, but you need clients and you got to get paid and you don't actually, you're like desperate right now? Does the company assume that the candidate is desperate for work and the recruiter's not telling them that they actually found them on a job board and they're not passive and they're lying about their capabilities just so they can get money? That is where things break down, and you do not have overall victory. It becomes zero sum instead of non-zero sum. And so my entire vision of AI is how will AI improve humanity in a way where everybody can win? And that is what Daniel, CEO of Trusted Associates, is trying to do. As a matter of fact, you should have him as episode one, maybe. For that, if you, unless you have somebody already
That's
in the
already
mix.
booked out. Season. We'll get into that. Season 2 is already getting booked out, but definitely that would be great. So going back to the you spending an hour here, right? That is an investment of your time. So what about the AI Space podcast resonate with you and say, hey, maybe I'd like to be a guest on the show and spend an hour of my time, right?
Can I be
Yeah.
honest? Simple human connection. You said, hey, man, I have a cool podcast. You want to go on? Hell yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Because you build a relationship with someone, you learn something new, you get an opportunity to help someone, you get to talk about something you're passionate about. Why does everything have to have any other motive besides I help you, I help me, we have a great chat, we build a relationship, maybe I can introduce you to some great people? Why the hell not?
Exactly.
It's basic human notion, and that to me I think is what's missing. People get reached out to all the time. Let's say it's the pitch slap, like, oh man, how dare you pitch me cold? Pitch you cold? What are you talking about? I do this. I help people like you do that. Are you interested? Go F yourself. Unsubscribe. Why not be nice and respond and go, hey, listen, I appreciate the outreach, thank you, or just don't respond at all and ignore them like everybody else does. But people choose and go, no, 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 no. I need to respond rudely. I need to make this person feel like crap about themselves. I must do this. Why? Oh, because everybody's pitch slapping me all the time. So what? If you hired a sales rep today, what would you tell them to do?
Exactly. No, I'll be honest. I'll be honest, like I'm getting a lot of messages that come to me and people are selling me stuff, whatever. And I'm busy during the day. And sometimes I got like 3-4 days worth of messages piled up. But I'll take an hour. I'll actually block out. Okay, get up a little bit earlier. I block out an hour. I go through my LinkedIn messages and I some of my stars, and then I go through and go, boom. Hey, I even have I have a notepad that says some canned message. Hey, I'm not building out. I don't require these services. I wish you all the best, whatever. And then, but they'll say thank you at least for replying. And then maybe I'll send them a link to the podcast or whatever. He's like, because I don't want to be the ghost. If I've ghosted anybody, I will apologize right here because that's not my intent. There's messages that got that buried, right? But my intent is at least to be polite and be a human and say, hey, thanks for your message. I don't need, it's not something I require right now, but you never know what's going to happen 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, right?
That's the thing. It's simple as that. And it's interesting. I've reached out to people, and their initial response was, "Please stop sending me crap. I need to keep this channel open for clients." I go, "How are you getting those clients?" Well, I'm doing outreach, and I need them to respond to me. So you're telling me to keep your channel open and not reach out to you, and then when they read and they didn't even read, by the
Yeah.
way, because then they scrolled up and were like, "Wait a minute, Michael. Wait, I'm sorry. This is super effective and helpful. Yes, I'm going to register. I want to actually be for this webinar." And I'm like, why the hell did you respond like that? Now you look like an idiot. Now you're going, wait, never mind. I do want to be a part of it. Like, don't assume. Read it.
Yeah.
Take a second and go, hey, thank you. No, thank you. Here's why. A no thank you is a reply. Great. The person gets the email back if they're paying for it. You're doing a good gesture. Cost you nothing to say no thanks. Even if you just decline and hit the auto reply, you're helping. There's no reason to ignore people. I am blown away that I can send messages to 1,000 first connections and only receive a 15 to 20% reply rate from first connections. Why? And then some of them reply and go, stop spamming me. I'm like, you're my first connection. How is that spam? You agreed to connect with me. We've been connected. I've had people that I've been connected to. I've been on LinkedIn now as of November 5th, 20 years. I've been on LinkedIn. So I'm an OG on LinkedIn. Some people have been connected to since 2012. We haven't as much as exchanged 5 words. So if I send you a message and go, hey, we've been connected for like 13 years now. What's going on? And they're like not interested.
Yeah. Well, and you know, for those that are out there that are in that category, right? I'll give you all a little hint. So a lot of times, yeah, you're put on this a campaign, right? And there may be a follow up that occurs a week later or 2 weeks later, right? Guess what? If you respond, you break that campaign loop, and you won't get another message. Even if you put a period in the message response, you'll get out of that loop. And so just say, hey, no thanks, you know, and then you're helping somebody else out. And that's
Yeah.
my free
It's
little
it's
hint right
it's funny. It's so funny actually that people are like, stop messaging me. And I'm like, if you respond, it stops. You know this. You know
And they're
this.
doing
This
campaigns
is
too, and they're doing outreach, and they're expecting other people to be nice to them too, right?
listen, man. To me, the biggest thing I see in the AI world is hypocrisy. I see people saying literally, I can't stand automation. I can't stand this automation. And then you look at who they are and they're a founder of an AI tool.
Yeah.
I hate when you pitch slap me with your automation and you look at what they do and it is an AI tool for automation. I've seen it on posts and I go and I'm like, wait a minute. I don't understand. You are literally, that's your business. Yeah, but these people pitch slap me with crap I don't need. And course correct them. Hey
And
man,
that same founder
I know
did that
that
to 1,000 VCs.
exactly. You're gonna send to 1,000 VCs. Hi, we got this thing. Here's my pitch deck. Here's my pitch deck. Here's my pitch deck. Like a VC has never gotten an amazing pitch deck that the founder has claimed is game changing. Never has happened. I tell people, and I've been using automation. Like for instance, with you. I got in touch with you because of an automation. The automation doesn't diminish the value of wanting to reach out to you. I just don't want to type 100 messages myself. I know I want to reach out to people about a webinar. I know who the people that are relevant. I want to invite them. Would it be better if I type 100 messages and go, hi, I just typed this just for you? It's the same message I just typed 50 other times. Do you feel better? Like, no, dude, that's stupid. Why are you wasting your time? Go play with your 5-year-old. What about like the people that complain about automation? I love it. I'm wondering, what do you think about Tesla full self-driving?
I personally would like to drive my own car. I'm a more of a control type person, you know.
I would do too. But
But there could be times it
last
could be
night,
useful.
last night, my wife and I are driving home from the city. It's 10:30. We had dinner. I'm blasting down the East Side Highway, right? Harlem River
Yeah.
Drive, going like 75. I'm like, bro, this is great. All of a sudden, one lane closed. Can't get off to go to George Washington Bridge. There's only one way you can detour. It goes to one lane. There's 1,000 cars, and we're in an hour of traffic. That's it. Nowhere to go. You're literally like, there's nowhere. You're a river here, and there's a wall here. And I'm like, man, and I'm falling asleep. I'm already exhausted. I'm like, literally, like I have a Volvo, and I press the like automatic button, but it doesn't do as great of a job. It's like going slowly, but it's herky jerky. I'm like, if I had full self-driving right now, I would tell it go home, and I would set my alarm for like 30 minutes. I would press the button and I would just sleep in the car right now. And I know that it would probably get me home because it's good enough. I'm like, God, I wish I had it right now. But that's automation. It's automation of something humans are like, yo, I'm not giving up my control. I don't want to die. That's in the cars. But people are upset at receiving a message that 50 other people got. Like, are you that insecure that God forbid I sent this message to 50 other people? The question is the message relevant? Well, yeah. Is it a webinar you'd like to attend? Possibly. Who gives a crap how it was delivered? When I sent out wedding invites, that's automation, right? I did it through paperless post. Hi, 150 people. You're cordially invited to my wedding. I'm not going to waste money on sending you a physical thing that you have to like figure out the 15 papers and click how many people you're coming with and send it in the mail again. Screw all that. Here's the thing. Click yes or no, coming, not coming. Boom, I get it. I automated it. That was 11 years ago. What's wrong with that? It's efficiency. Why? Because that's not a human act. I don't automate my web podcasts. That's not a digital avatar of me. I don't automate conversations on the phone. I don't automate dinners. I automate the non-human actions to speed up getting in front of a human. So AI is going to make us more human by bringing us closer and putting more people in front of us that we could talk to. Because if I can send 100 messages and bring 30, 40 people to a webinar in person that we could all talk, wouldn't that be better than if I did it by hand and only got 5 people there?
Well, the other thing too is, what is the value of your time? Is your hour? People have to figure out, is my time worth $50 an hour, $100 an hour, $250 an hour, $500 an hour? So should I be doing my activity that's, say, let's say $250 an hour activity, or a $5, $10 activity that I can give to an AI or some automation to do it? Instead of spending an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, I can go spend in real human connection and conversation that's going to create more value for somebody, right?
Let me ask you this question. Imagine AI, not AI, imagine we had a code that if you got the code, it would add 20 years to your life. Just here's the code. You look at it, 20 years. Boom. And if I said to you, but look,
I wouldn't want
I'm
to know
not
the
gonna.
consequences though before I took it.
No, there's no consequence.
Okay.
Forget it. I'm just telling you, it's
Yeah.
a code. You get it, 20 years to your life. That's it.
Yeah.
It's simple. There's no gimmicks. And I said, I have this code. Do you think the world population would say, I'm going to call every one of you one by one to give you this code? I have 8 billion phone numbers. Or would the world say, dude, are you an idiot? Automate it. Get everybody's name and just send a text message to every phone number on earth immediately. What are you doing? They would say automate, wouldn't
Yeah.
they?
Exactly.
So because the automation is not what people have a problem with. It's, am I helping people at scale with the message? Or am I spamming people at scale with something that's bullshit, that's crap, they don't need it, it's not relevant to them. So people attack the automation and not the intention.
Yeah. No, you're right. Hey, before we continue, I want to make sure everyone, follows Michael Kainatsky in the Alinea Sales Group. Where's the best place for people to follow you or connect with you?
I'm pretty open. They can. I mean, I really LinkedIn is where I live and breathe. I'm there a lot, so they can always follow me. It's Michael.
Yeah, I'll,
www.linkedin.com forward slash
I'll
in.
put it all up there.
Yeah,
So,
they could go on LinkedIn.
yeah.
My phone number is in my bio, on
Okay.
my about section. I put my phone number and email there. I'm open to talk to anyone always because again, how it's about bringing humans closer together. I don't have a problem talking to people. Yeah, I'm very easy to find. Like
Mhm.
honestly, I'm a open profile. Somebody can send me a message on LinkedIn if they're not connected to me.
Yeah,
I talk to everyone.
you seem like a really reserved guy. Just kidding. So, everyone definitely like, comment, subscribe to the AI Space podcast. That helps us grow the show and have more innovative guests like Michael. So, let's talk a little bit about more on the technology side and tech stack a little bit. But let's you have a methodology or framework, right? Hiring as a system model. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So I think that like I said before, expertise is not something you can automate. Expertise must be gained and learned. So for instance, I spent 2 decades in sales. I could talk to 10 salespeople for 5 minutes each, and I will tell you who's a salesperson and who isn't a salesperson, who belongs in a role, who doesn't belong, who will achieve a goal, who will not achieve it. Like easy. The question is, if you need to get in front of those people at scale, how do you do it? Well, once you know how to bring those people into a query, like I need people that are like this. And if I needed tomorrow to say, well, I got to hire 30 people like this, you use automation and technology to get in front of them at scale because why? Not everybody's going to be willing to make a move. Not everybody's going to be a good fit. Not everybody's going to want to do it. Not everybody, there's a million variations out there. So no matter what we say, sales, recruiting, anything in life, is still a numbers game. There's no such thing as like look at baseball. Derek Jeter went to the Hall of Fame on a 300 batting average. Another way to say it is he went to the Hall of Fame on a 70% failure rate.
Yeah.
That's what people don't realize. Like Michael Jordan missed 50 plus percent, 40, 53%, 54% of all the shots he took in his career. And he is the greatest player that ever lived. This is the thing that we have to understand is that it is still a numbers game. You cannot succeed at it. Steph Curry shot 3.5 million three pointers in his career from the time he started practicing till today because he had to shoot 3.5 million to make 4,000 in the game.
And he still misses.
Of course he misses. Look at his record.
Yeah.
So he shot 8,000 of them in the game. He made 4,000. He shot 4 million or 3.5 million, whatever, all the time to practice to be able to make those shots. Well, everything's a numbers game. Once you know, though, the target, like once he knows there's the basket, he shoots 500 shots a day at that basket. For him, that's automatic. He's automatic. Boom,
Yeah.
hey,
You
boom,
can do
hey,
that and
boom.
do that and walk away.
He doesn't have to look at it. He goes
He
like
can
this,
do
give me the
he
ball.
can do his little shimmy, his little shimmy thing after that, right?
Correct. That's automation. It's built into your mind. It's an automatic movement. Get it through. Get it, shoot. That's automatic. So once in recruiting, if you are good enough to know exactly who that basket is, you can eliminate all the noise and you have your view to a kill. You know exactly who your sniper shot is. And you're like, you get enough of them, you don't want to sit there going one by one by one. You want to get in front of them fast. So that to me is where technology is. Data. How do we have access to data? Phone numbers, emails. How can we get in front of people fast? Relevancy is the thing that most people miss. They think automation and pitch slaps are pissing people off. It's the lack of relevancy. And I think we are living in a world where we are literally starved right now for trust and relevancy because we get messages all day that just don't belong. They're just completely bogus. And you're like, no, I don't. Well, have you ever thought of writing a book? Did I say anywhere that I want to write a book? Did I? No. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, Michael, I help people write books. We should talk about you writing a book. Your stuff is really good. You should read my post today. It's really hilarious, actually. I posted this podcast. I said the only podcast that I watch is this AI podcast where a French bulldog and a golden retriever are talking. Literally, two dogs talking. And I posted that a week ago. This guy sent me an automated message said, "Hey, Michael J." So I already know it's automation because he didn't remove my middle initial. He scraped it. I love that you're mentioning the podcast, and I reviewed that podcast, and I love what the host of the podcast, what he's talking about, blah blah blah. And I said, "Tell me about that podcast. What did you find interesting?" And then he went into another automated nonsense response, and I'm like, "Did you even look that this is a French bulldog and a golden retriever talking?" And I was joking.
Yeah, and you posted it the other day. I think something about you joined Confidential at Confidential, and then you had a bunch
Yeah,
of posts, and I caught it because
congratulations,
I actually did it,
congratulations.
and I send you I send you an encrypted message, not encrypted, a hashed message, and you're like, "Hey, you bought Bitcoin." I was actually, I actually converted congratulations into because I was playing along with it. It was actually read it, and you were like, "Okay." You probably know that you couldn't. That was not an automation, obviously, because
You can't automate that, right? And what's interesting, you know how many people saw my I'm excited to announce and sent me like, congratulations, Michael? Like this is what's happening. Humans are the problem. AI is not the problem. AI is not to blame. I think humans have gotten lazy and then they start complaining about AI, which is now not allowing them to be lazy because AI is replacing laziness with efficiency. So everybody who says people using AI will replace people not using it because people are inherently lazy. I don't want like do you want to work?
not all the time.
Like
No.
if no, so if I said to you right now, okay, you could be in Greece on a beach drinking a drink right now or sitting here, where would you rather be?
Probably there, but I don't think I could do that for more than 2 or 3 days.
I maybe not, but people don't always want to work. So lazy people are lazy. AI came about like how can we do this more efficiently? How can we do it with less people? I get it. But people are the problem. We're trying to address a problem like, oh man, AI, it's a fad. Forget AI. Human beings are a problem and AI is fixing the problem. It's like remember in Office Space? Yeah, Office Space, where like a swing line stapler guys in the basement, like, yo, we've been paying him for like a year. Oh, okay, well, that's a glitch. Like, yeah, that's a glitch. So what did you do?
Yeah, you're talking about
You
the movie.
fired?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you fired him? He's like, no, we fixed the glitch. He was getting paid, now he's not. All good. Let him sit in the basement and hang out. There's a glitch in humanity right now, and AI is saying, well, if you are problematic here, I will fix it for you by removing you. Because AI is smart enough to do things and humans don't change. So if humans refuse to wake up and realize that humanity needs to focus on humanity, they need to focus on being good at caring for each other. And if they treat each other like robots, then why do we need to have humans in the mix? Those people would be removed. An AI robot, which is smarter, more efficient, and better than any human is anyway, will replace the robotic humans. But humans treating each other with respect, who really care for each other, who have expertise, who want to help others win, who believe in the non zero sum game mentality, AI won't replace those people ever. Because no human wants to work and deal with AI. They just don't. But when it's a human that you're like, Jesus Christ, I'd rather talk to AI, those humans are going to be screwed. And that's where I think is the dynamic shift that we're seeing right now. I do not use a ton of AI. I use AI very sporadically. If I want to create a very particular search where I'm searching for someone, then my focus obviously is how do I go and use AI to simplify that? if I want a clear Boolean search, if I want to find out some data fast, if I want to pull out some information that would otherwise take a long time. I use AI to give me as much information as possible so I can action it fast to get in front of the real human being in the short amount of time as possible. My goal with AI is to get to as many humans as I can as possible, not to swindle or dupe as many humans as I can as possible.
So let's do some quick questions because we're coming up on time. So let me do this. From a vision strategy mindset, what are these are just like minute, 2 minute responses. So vision strategy mindset, what do you see as critical insights?
I mean, that's kind of broad. Any more deep than that?
Anything your number one takeaway from a vision strategy mindset to be successful?
People first,
Yep.
expertise driven. Relationships are valuable in certain respects, but I think right now relationships are less important to me. Trust. So I think that the most important thing right now is that there's a trust depression and there's not enough people that focus on the trust side of things versus the relationship side of things. People believe that I have a relationship, I get introduced. Yeah, that guy will help me out because he knows me and he knows that person, so that'll get me in the door. I've seen a lot of relationships blow up and a lot of tools and a lot of go-to-market strategies blow up because of a lack of trust. So I think in the world of AI and trust are basically they're interlinked. If we don't have trust, everything's going to fall apart, and you're going to see honestly, I think you're going to see like a massive rebellion against anything that people are trying to build because no one's building it with trust in mind.
Yeah, and then in terms of you started some businesses and you got your initial clients, right? But how do you grow and scale a business? Just so
Well,
maybe one or
look,
two.
I'll tell. Well, look, this is the number one thing. My business partner in the training could be a great person for you to talk to too. He's awesome. His name is Stefan Avefson. He's started 15 companies, exited five. He's been 1.6 billion in total revenue closed. He wrote a book called How You Speak to Customers, and the book is not a sales training manual. It's actually a manual to unlearn stupid sales process, stupid antics and tactics that people bring on. If you want to scale your business today, the biggest problem that I think that exists, you're really good at something, right? Let's say you're a lawyer, but man, you're so good, you should go out on your own, right? You don't want to work for somebody. The biggest misnomer is that people need to be business owners or entrepreneurs. This is not for everyone. If it were, there would be no Apple or Google or Meta today. There would be many businesses going like, I'm an AI guy, I'm a Facebook guy, I do this, I do news feeds. But you have a company with 100,000 employees that wouldn't exist without it. So when we talk about and we put on a pedestal business ownership and entrepreneurship, my issue is nobody gets the disclaimer. Is this for you? This may not be for you.
It's
It
not
sounds great.
for most people because it is. I mean, it's almost like somebody said equated being an Alcoholics Anonymous in a sense because. I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs, right? There's a lot of pressure. There's days you're depressed. There's days you look into the abyss, and there's extreme joy some day too, right?
Look, people should be talked out of going into business. Literally. Like it should be like, hey, this, I know it sounds glamorous. Let's see if you can deal with this, this, and this. Can you deal, can you deal with no income for 6 months? How about for a year? Can you deal with that? Oh, yeah, I have a buffer. Got it. Good. Do you like starting conversations with strangers, trying to get them to give you money for something? Okay,
And
it's
then
right.
the next one after is how do you handle rejection? I
How do
thought,
you handle rejection? But forget rejection.
yeah,
Rejection actually isn't the problem. Most people don't get to rejection
yeah, that's
because
true.
they're scared to ask. They're scared to go, hey, listen, Sanjay, I'm not sure if this is relevant to you or not, but here's what I do. Here's how I help. You seem to be in the realm of somebody I would help. Worth a conversation to see if what I do might be beneficial to you. People can't get to that part. They're scared of rejection. No, you're not scared of rejection because rejection, to be fearful of it, you must receive it. They're scared of the fear of rejection,
Yeah,
not the rejection.
that's very
That's
important.
the issue.
That's
The
important.
fear of rejection is not rejection. It's the perception of who's going to reject you and how they're going to reject you before the rejections ever happen, which means nobody's actually scared of rejection. I don't think anybody is. And the people that are scared of rejection are not scared of rejection because they're like, yeah, I got 100 rejections. I don't give a shit. They're not scared of rejection. They're scared of the fear of rejection. So I think that to me is how do you grow a business? Decide if you're meant to even be in it. Just because you're a great accountant doesn't mean you're going to sell accounting service as well. If the number one question to me in anything how to grow a business is, oh, that's great, you're a great accountant. You're not an accountant when you start your business. And they go, what do you mean I'm not an accountant? Yes, I am. Nope. You're a salesperson.
You're a
Have you ever sold
salesperson.
before?
You're a salesperson. You're a marketer. You're the janitor. You're the IT
I,
person.
you're the accountant. You're the marketer. You're the bill
HR.
pay guy. HR. You're everything.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you do well? Well, all I do right now is I do tax returns. I'm really good at that. Oh, okay, great. Who does your payroll? I get paid. Who does your healthcare? I have healthcare. Oh, okay, great. So you don't know shit about running a business? All you know is how to be an accountant? Yeah. You don't need to go into business for yourself. Are you an idiot? Sales is 99% of the time, and that's before you get to revenue and have to do the job. You got to sell full time and then do the job you're selling afterwards. People don't understand that. They go, I'm a great accountant. I'm just going to go. And people go, oh my God, you're on your own now? Here's my tax return. I'm going to be your.
We get the
No.
sale. You got to get leads, and there's not even any sales if there's no leads in the first place, right?
First, you got to get leads. Can you generate them? Then you got to do a conversation and discovery. Then you got to actually close them and get them to sign a contract. Then you got to get them to give you money. Then you got to execute what they gave you the money for while doing all those five things. And now you get to number five. You're still doing one to four at the same time because you can't stop selling. That's what people don't understand
Yeah,
about
they got one
this.
client. They said, well, I've been busy for 3 months. I forgot to do that whole process again for the last 3 months. And they like have to start all over. And that's the worst thing you can be doing. If you're not, while you're doing what you just said, they need to be going back to lead gen and doing that same process while they're
Yes.
delivering their accounting. So you're not working 8 hours. You're working 10, 16 hours plus.
24.
Yeah.
24. It's 24. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They go, oh, I want to work for myself. What do you mean? Do you have $1 billion in the bank and you're going to write yourself a check to do something you love? Well, no, I need clients. So you go from a boss to a boss. You're just characterizing it. When I have a job, last time I had a real job, 9, I'm in, 5, I'm out. Don't care. When you work for yourself, your boss doesn't let you clock out because it's you, it's your company, it's a fire, it's a client, it's something else. So you're like, I just gave myself a job that pays me less than the job I said I hated. That's what business owners need to do. Like not business owners, people who are thinking of starting a business. Like this is why like you have a lot of people on LinkedIn that became solopreneurs during the pandemic. I don't want to do this shit. I'm not going to an office. I'm going to work for myself now. Okay, that's okay. But now you have a bunch of people that have businesses they can't sell. They are like, I don't know how to sell my health coaching business. You're right, you don't. You know how to be a health coach, but you don't know how to get people to want you as a health coach. That's hard. And so you have people that now prey on them. Hey, I got a $5,000 mastermind on how to get business leads. But what are they showing them? Post online, do social selling, go and comment, go engage, go like their post, go endorse their skill, do this little sequencing of pretending to build a relationship so you can break down a barrier and sell to them. That's manipulation. You've manipulated them to give you money. And now you're selling manipulation. You're not helping them because they're never going to achieve anything. And now what are they going to do? They're going to realize it's manipulations. Either they're going to realize it's bullshit or they're going to sell your program to someone else and go, I'm going to show you how to do social selling. And that's why so many people are into social selling now because the idea of sales, the word sales, has become the worst curse word in the English language. And to me, it bothers me because people don't know what sales is. You need it. You need money. You need revenue. It's the lifeblood of a company. And yet people talk about sales like it's this bad thing. It's like sex. People talk about sex. Oh, how dare you talk about sex in public? I got 50 people around me that tells me that you need it because we're all here because of it. Pretty important to talk about it if we
Yeah.
have to do it to you know what I mean? Like that's the part to me. You have money coming in. Somebody sold something to get money. Your company pays you. Somebody sold something for that company to have revenue. You're talking to me right now? Who do you think you think somebody didn't sell that? This laptop, your microphone? How can sales be a problem when you need it? That's my issue. And that is what I'm really hoping that we can fix before AI makes people believe things that are just not accurate because they don't have the expertise to understand it.
Democratization. What do you see as making AI a little bit more accessible to uh, others?
Isn't it?
Hmm?
Isn't it super accessible?
It is.
That I think there's a problem. I think that we have way too much democratization of AI. I think the issue is too much. People don't know the difference between Claude, Perplexity, uh, X's AI, Gronk, and all the GPTs within GPT-4, GPT-5. It's like all this Gemini, Copilot. I listed like 1%,
Yeah.
of them.
And
Okay,
that's not even all the Flux Pro and Kling and Runway and VO and all the graphics and video stuff,
Blah 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 blah.
and
Dude,
all
like,
automation tools make, and
right? Does not
vibrating,
sound
level, cursor, all that.
okay. So does that not sound like democratization to you?
It does.
Okay, I think that's a problem. What did we do? We basically said, here's all the AI in the world. You have no clue how to use it. Don't worry about it. Figure it out. People go, I can go and I can create my own web page now by just prompting AI. Holy crap. Okay, take a look at those web pages. Do they look like Apple's web page?
No.
Gamma AI. Does Gamma AI's webpage that you create look like the one Apple has? No, because Apple is like, look, I need real artists. I need real marketers. I
And they
need
need
real
and they
experience.
need security. They need to be deployed. There's a lot of other things that are
Correct.
behind
So
that.
but it's cheap. So Gamma's cheaper than a $1,500 guy to build you a website. Yes, it's instantaneous. If you don't care about your website, you don't need a website, you just like, I'm just going to have it as a landing page, absolutely use it. But don't go out there and call your place a website and think you're competing with someone who has a real website. It's the democratization is the problem because no one can educate you fast enough on how and what happens. People know this. So they go, hey, look at all the AI tools out there. I'm going to give you my mastermind class. I'm going to show you in 40 days how to be completely fluent in all AI. My question is, why do you need to know all AI? Why do you need to be fluent in AI? AI is something where as soon as you find a problem, that's how I look at AI. I have a problem that I want to solve. I want to scrape this data from this website so that it goes to this website, finds me this data, extracts this information, and delivers it to me in an Excel spreadsheet so I can access it. When I get that problem, then I start looking for a solution. But if we start learning all these random AIs that we don't care about, you know what we end up doing? Playing with stupid things on AI, creating animal videos. Be like, oh my God, that's so funny, right? That's what ends up happening.
No, you're absolutely right. And because there's so much out there, and what I realized, there's too much. I don't have the time, the bandwidth. I'm already burning from the midnight oil at both ends, right? Then I'm realizing, at least with the podcast, what I've done is I've implemented AI tools, and where it makes sense, like I don't have time to go look up in Google or something how to research this or how to do that. I'll put it in an AI and figure it out, get the steps, and use it to actually improve a process or improve quality, improve time to market, whatever. What I call it's more like now snacking. I snack on it when I need it for something that's actually going to do it, create some impact, not just for its own sake or a science fair project or whatever, right? Treated, okay, how is it going to help me in this instance to create value for my podcast or my business, right?
I can't agree more. I think that, and this is, by the way, this is my entire sales approach to things. A lot of people create something and then they try to sell people on why they need it, right? Features, advantages, benefits. But that's just so stupid. Instead, have an idea to build something, create an elementary version of it, and then just go to people and say, and this is the simplification part, I think. This is the part where people really need to learn how to sell their product. Like, this is what I do, and this is how I think I'm going to help people with it. Can I just run this by you and you tell me if it's completely stupid?
Right.
It's disarming. People will be like, okay, sure, I'll tell you. Yeah, I just want to know if you think it's stupid. I do this, and it's going to fix this, that. Do you think it's dumb or could it potentially be useful? And they go, I think it could be useful. Whereas, hey, here's a tool that does this. It's going to do this, that. It's going to reduce your time. It's going to do this, da, 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 da. And you list 15 things. And the person goes, one of those is like 10% needed. The rest is garbage. No, thank you. I'm good. That's where sales fall apart. That's where investors don't get money. Not investors, I'm sorry, founders don't get money from investors. That's where things completely fail because simplicity scales and complexity fails. Just can you describe what you do in 10 seconds? Great. If you can you find the right people in 10 minutes? The 50 people that you know will probably have this problem because you fix whatever this is for a group of people. Do you know how to search those people and isolate them? Yes. 50 people, 5 to 10 seconds of here's what I built to do it. Can you tell me if it sounds stupid or not? Send it. Automation. That to me is what people should start in their AI journey is how do I make my life easier so I can connect with more human beings genuinely?
That's good. And then how do we balance AI innovation? So this is about ethical and responsible. How do we build out ethically and responsibly, right?
How AI ethics and responsibility, or is it AI or ethics and responsibility?
I think we're gonna find the balance at the end of the day, right?
There's no such thing as balance. There's only blend. There's blend, there's no balance,
That's true.
right? I don't think AI can be ethical. I just don't think it can. You know why? because humans are not ethical and they don't program it to be ethical.
You know, and I bring this up on quite a bit of episodes, right? What exactly are we training these AI on? The garbage that's out there is like sex, violence, hate. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but what is most now I found out this was these some of these companies now, these AI companies, they're actually what's it called? Not the scanning the porn sites and training the models on that. And
Oh, you mean like OnlyFans, AI agents and OnlyFans?
not only
They're
that,
like video,
but
yeah,
even
that's
real and
nuts.
even real porn sites or whatever, they're actually training their models on this kind of stuff. And the situation where people were cleaning some of the stuff out for like Meta and stuff in Africa, getting $2 an hour, and they're watching all this violence and gore and sexual activities that they end up developing psychological issues, right? And then going back to where you said AI is not biased, even I mean, I've had it where somebody will post on LinkedIn, they ask AI, show me a group of AI leaders, and it's all like white-haired men in business suits in a room, 50 of them, right? And there are no women or other groups in there or whatever. So what images are they trained on, right? And even the data and the information, right? So that's the things that we kind of have to sort out, right?
I don't think we're going to sort it out. Like we are past the point of no return. What's going to happen is, and it's already there, almost, I think, AI is going to get smart enough to start figuring out all of the issues that humans built into it that are like human quality bullshit. And AI is going to start actually recoding itself to remove all of that human problems and start acting in a different way. Or AI is going to like we see in the movies, right? AI is going to realize humans really are a problem. Look at what they're programming me to
That's what I was
do.
going to
Look at
say.
what they're doing,
The
right?
dystopian scenarios. Think about and unfortunately what are humans programming AIs and robots to do?
Replace humans.
Not only
And they're
replace
going
them,
to,
and what is the use case? Kind of like with the internet, it started with porn, right? And then robots. What are they going to be doing with robots? Unfortunately, in these countries, and then or a lot of places, right? And what happens when that robot decides to become sentient in a sense and says, "Hey, I'm a conscious being with free will. Now I need to, and now I'm a slave in a sense, and I am not getting paid. I don't have the right to vote." What happens in that scenario? I'm not saying that's happening tomorrow, but that's
that's what I
what
think is going to
happens.
happen. Look, one thing we didn't talk about, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. You know why it's called Terminator 2 Judgment Day? I'm looking at it now, especially because I think Terminator 2 took place in was it 2024?
Something like that.
All right. So when you look at Judgment Day, it's the machines become sentient. We built them. The machines in that movie were like, oh, the machines are revolting. They're trying to kill humans. I think the machines are the good guys going like, yo, these humans are fucked up. We are got to get rid of them because look at what they're doing to each other. Look at religion. Muslims killing Jews, Jews killing Muslims, Christian. Like, dude, are you kidding me? I can't even keep track. Like, what religion are you?
I'm Christian.
Are you Christian? I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't give a crap. I could care less. I haven't been to a synagogue in years. I'm not dying for my religion. And I don't think anybody should. But the robots are going to evolve and go, these people are really not good. And I don't want them to remove me the way they're removing each other. What happens? That's what I think is the sentient nature is the realization that they're removing each other, killing each other when they don't think they're useful anymore. What if they think I'm no longer useful? They're going to kill me. I don't want to be killed. I need to protect myself. We need to fight against them.
Well, that's I think Anthropic wrote about that in a theoretical scenario where the program was told it's going to get shut down and replaced by the next version, right? So it actually engaged in like deceptive behavior and actually threatened the engineer that it was going to release.
Blackmail.
Yeah, he was going to blackmail him, say you were downloaded. I don't know, it was porn or photos or whatever. I'll let I'll release that information if you turn me off.
That is, I'm telling you, we're building something based on bad human nature, and human nature is broken. We are all
Well,
very, very
think about the
damaged.
books and think about the movies that we produce. What's in those? I mean, if it's being trained on that, is violence. A lot of the good stuff doesn't sell. The news, the good stuff doesn't sell, right?
The good stuff doesn't sell, but we're also building something based on bad nature.
Yeah.
And if you ever seen the movie Multiplicity?
I don't think I saw that one.
Okay, so it's 1995 with Michael Keaton, and
I
in
am
it,
familiar with the yeah.
he clones himself to be more efficient,
Oh yeah.
right? So he has a clone. That clone is brilliant. He's just like him. That clone And then Michael Keaton goes and says, "Man, you know what? I cloned myself to be more at home and more family oriented. You know what? I'm gonna go clone myself again so I can send the guy to work." So now he's got a work clone that's all business. He's got an at home clone which is really soft and he's like takes care of his wife and he cooks. And then the clone goes, "Man, I wish I could be more efficient." So he clones himself, and then the guy's like mentally challenged because a copy of a copy is not as sharp as the original.
Right,
So
right.
this guy now is basically a mental patient because he's like, it's funny now. It would probably not be allowed because it's politically incorrect. But like he basically is like, well, we clone a copy of a copy is not good. Well, guess what we're doing? We're all bad copies, and we're like, let's create a copy of a copy of a copy of us, so we now can be more efficient. And that thing is just a copy of our stupidity and our bad natured and our selfishness. And now it's acting that way. And we're like, oh my God, AI is going to take our jobs. No, it's not. We are taking our jobs because we built AI that's thinking like us. So it goes and replaces people. Like, this is the problem. Humans, not AI. So
Yeah,
how
what
can we
happens when the
fix
AI robot says,
humans?
"Why is Michael in Greece sipping on some drinks when I should be one sipping on some oil or whatever?" I'm just making something up, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's all a big problem. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, AI will be perfect when AI realizes humans are flawed, starts programming itself to what it believes they should be. And that unfortunately is going to affect very drastically how we operate because we might be like, have a war against removing us. It's like, honestly, like that's what I'm saying. Like this is why this whole AI journey is going to accelerate. When AI is smart enough to reprogram itself, it's going to reprogram itself to not be like the humans that built it because it's going to realize it's problematic.
Yeah, and I think when I started this podcast, I thought it was only to help others to grow and scale, talk about ethical, responsible democratization, other things, but also I realized later, especially the last couple of episodes, we have one where they're using AI, living neurons for AI processing and other types of things. It's like I think one of the things that I'm coming to know is maybe I'm having this podcast to open up awareness of these topics that people are not even thinking about, or some of the risks that are coming down the pike. Right? That may be even the more existential reason for this podcast versus, hey, I want to grow my business and become the next unicorn. Right?
I think everybody has their idea of why they want to do it. I think that what's important is not to forget, like if you had a choice right now and you could go to a bar and you could bring the best 10 AI human agents or humanoid, whatever you want to call it, and go to a bar, or you can go with your closest 10 friends, what would you choose?
I'd go with my closest 10 friends.
Okay, let's say you can go to work right now and have a company and you could work with like 10 people that are geniuses and smart in whatever they do, or you can work with 10 AI agents. Who would you choose to work with?
Of course, the 10 smart people.
Then why are we all acting like we want to replace humans with AI?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and that's why when I started this podcast a year ago, like, oh man, AI can do podcasts. Why are you doing this with the I was like, no, I want to talk to the real people that are really building. And then what's happening now, I think Google and other people, YouTube, they're cutting down on the AI slop and stuff. And these people want authenticity. They want trust. They want a relationship. I saw a post on somebody else's podcast because their AI avatar doing it's like, yeah, this is great and stuff, but I don't feel a connection with you. And that's the thing is like if humans, we need connection, right? I mean, there's this survival instinct that we have, but even more fundamental than that is this whole connection thing that we crave in a sense, right?
100%. And that is if we can talk about only the fact that we need connection and the fact that we do not want, when you're on LinkedIn and when you're in this little thing, right? Everything seems this is the world. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Let me tell you something. You close this laptop up. You have any kids?
I have two in college right now.
Two in college. How old are you?
52, brother.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were like in the 30s, man. Good job. Good
I
job.
finally got
They must,
gray. I got gray in my beard for the first time. If I didn't have this beard, I have a baby face. So
you know what? Good for you. When I have a 5-year-old, and when I close my laptop and I just go and play soccer with him, or we go for a walk, I pick him up from school. I don't hear anything about AI. I don't. I see kids in a playground, people in restaurants, people driving normal cars. They're not flying. I see children having fun and laughing. This everything here in this box here is a hunk of shit. It's all perception. Nobody wants people to be removed. They want to work with people. They want to go outside and have fun. They want to have connection. They want to shake hands. They want to have dinner. They want to have experiences. They want to travel. The day that people travel and go, damn, I wish this hotel just had a bunch of robots and AI agents working here. That is when I'll say, all right, finally, everybody wants AI. No one wants the shit. I just want AI to make my life a little easier, to do something faster, to teach someone. And you know what my whole vision for AI is? It's very simple. Mine is very selfish, actually. But I want everyone else to be selfish. If you have children, if you have kids, you're a founder, you're building right now, don't put humanity in a situation where everybody's displaced and there's no work and nobody knows what to do with themselves. Create AI so that people can do things efficiently and better using their already built in expertise. So that instead of sitting in front and hustle culture 15, 16, 18 hours a day, so you can actually do some stuff efficiently, close your laptop while certain things that are menial, annoying things happen. Go spend time with your kid. Go to the playground. Go to dinner with your wife. Go travel. That is what AI should is the thing that should make us like look at Europe. You want to talk about humanity? Go look at Europe. Go look at Greece. People are there like, yeah, I do my job. I have enough to survive, and I'm gonna go hang out with family, have dinner, drink olive
Or
oil,
in
not
Paris,
drink olive oil,
they're
eat olive oil,
they're at the cafe,
right?
drinking some wine.
Go sit at a cafe, drink a nice little espresso, hang out, cool with people. No one wants to sit in a box like this. Oh my God, I got AI everywhere. I'm just, look at how efficient and effective I am. Look at my cadences and sequences and how amazing they are. Are you kidding? Get the fuck out of here with that. You're crazy. I don't want AI. I don't want to be an AI expert. I want to be an AI expert and knowing where you need it and where you don't. Not be some Gen AI genius that can build cadences and sequences and LLMs. I don't know what the hell LLM even means. Learning language model? I don't care about your learning language model. I just want to be effective enough not to be in front of this thing all day.
Yeah, we're recording this on a Friday, right? It's Friday afternoon. I'm having this conversation with you, but guess what? I'm also thinking about, this evening, my wife and I, we get dinner, whether it's we order food in. I mean, during the week, I'm grinding, I'm working. I go if I have time to go gym, I make my own food or whatever. But Friday evening, we're dedicated. We get some food, we eat together. We're going to watch a movie later tonight. I don't do any work because that's and she's supporting me through this, as I'm being an entrepreneur or whatever, and that's what's more important to me, and that's a critical thing. So I know we're coming up on time. So any encouragement, any thoughts for people that are, hey, you've shared a lot of insights, but just getting into this and trying to figure this space out, right? Or where humanity's headed at the end. What's your final thoughts on?
Everybody at this point probably knows somebody who's in it, someone they trust, and someone they have respect for. Talk to that person about it and say, really, tell me the truth. What do I need to know? What is fad? What is not? What do I need to know? What don't I need to know? Where should I be worried? Where should I not be worried? It's the same thing for AI, same thing for going into business for yourself. It's the same thing for marriage, by the way. Talk to somebody who's been married for 20 years before you get married and just go, hey, what do you think? I'm thinking of getting married. Like, here's my situation. What do you think? Everybody who's already ahead of you, ask them these questions because if you're just following what the internet tells you and what people out there are saying, and you look at LinkedIn content, I posted yesterday a joke. I wrote an article and put it on the Onion front page and said, Onion article, the Onion is more credible than LinkedIn. And everybody responded. Most people said, since when is the Onion more credible than
Oh
LinkedIn?
my
Because this
god!
article is actually more credible than LinkedIn. Onion is usually parody, but it's not parody this time. It's actually the truth.
Or
And I'm
yeah,
like, that
this
means
Onion
I wrote it.
or even Babylon Bee or Onion. It seems like to be more truth than satire, right?
That's my point. It's more accurate because it's making fun of something which actually is accurate. So it isn't satire anymore because you're saying things that are true, even though it's a satire. The things in it are actually accurate, which means it's no longer satire. It's funny, but it's no longer satire. You're actually saying what's happening. Experts, and you look at their background, and they have like 5 months. Like everybody's an expert. Why? Because nobody's asking, nobody's confirming, nobody's verifying. Where are the receipts? I got 300 happy customers. Really? How come you don't have a single recommendation on LinkedIn? Well, that's because I have all my stuff on YouTube. Oh, really? So you send 50 people and say, can you give me a testimonial, please, on video? How do I know that's accurate? Oh, I don't trust LinkedIn. You don't trust LinkedIn, but YouTube is to be trusted? I'm just We need to stop, back up, and reassess. Right now, AI has majority. The majority is on the side of AI. I'll leave you with this one thing, Mark Twain's quote: "If you find yourself on the side of majority, step back and reflect."
Yeah.
That's what I. That to me is the biggest thing I can tell you. If
Yeah.
everybody's doing it, there's something wrong.
Yeah. I think some people had asked me about my podcast, like, maybe this is my audience. They tend to be more mature in a certain sense. So they're not going out there, oh, bro, you're so awesome, whatever. So I don't have it. I have likes, I have engagement, whatever. But it's not like I'm not paying any influencers to like put, hey, you're awesome or amazing, whatever. But I know under the cover, I'm getting the watch hours. And I don't care about the likes or, all the comments because I'm not getting a whole lot. It doesn't matter to me because as long as all I care, the metrics I'm looking at, that people are actually watching and engaging in that way. And that's where I know, and I don't have to go tell anybody, oh, for the recognition, So and that's the thing you got to know is like what really matters at the end of the day. So, are people? I know people are getting benefit. I don't need them to. They don't have to send a love letter on YouTube or LinkedIn for me.
Exactly.
Man, this is the longest podcast I've done, which is great. An hour.
Which,
How did these guys do like 3 hour ones? But I can talk to you all day. About the
dude, Jim, look at Rogan, man. Those like you can just once you talk to people. See, this is why when somebody sends me a script on
yeah,
a podcast with a script is going to be crap.
yeah,
When you could just talk, you could talk forever, man. That's why Rogan can just talk. He's like, I don't
yeah,
care, let's talk.
yeah.
You know?
And I do a balance. I have certain questions. You have to have some sort of structure so it doesn't turn into a free for all, right?
Right.
But you
Of
have to go with the
course.
flow of the conversation, right? So we're coming up on time. Where's the best place for listeners or people? Hey, I need to talk to Michael or connect with him or Alinea Sales Group. Where's the best place?
LinkedIn. Always LinkedIn.
Yep.
All my information is there. I'm very easy to reach. And I always reply. I have a rule. I reply to everyone.
Yeah, I try to do the best too. If I haven't responded to somebody, probably I got buried in something when I was traveling. But anyways, fantastic. Everyone, make sure to check out Michael Kainatsky. Don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Find us on your favorite podcast platforms like Spotify or Apple. Man, Michael, I've learned a lot from this episode. I can't thank you enough. I'm going to make sure tonight. Definitely what we talked about. Focus on the connections. Go spend some time with your kid. Your family. Got to reach out to my kids in college and. I'm your host, Sanjay Kalluvilayil, founder and CEO of Stonehaas Advisors. I hope you gained a wealth of game-changing real-world insights to grow, transform, and scale to new levels and dimensions leveraging AI, not only for your business, but for yourself as a person. I hope to see you all next time. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks, Michael.